Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to end a video, and this is a paid request from my friend Efree. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, PayPal is usually the best bet, or join my Patreon. Links are in the info box. Again, PayPal is usually the best bet for that. And it could be any topic, reaction, commentary, video game let's try, or full playthrough, review, re-review, what have you, tier list, whatever the case may be. For those who have sent it in, thank you. I'll get to them as soon as I can. And this time, it's the first Deadpool, since Deadpool and Wolverine is out. Efree wanted me to look into films like Deadpool, and also Deadpool 2. That would be nice as well. Deadpool 2016. Let's get into this. Let me focus. Okay, focus, Matt. Okay? No, shiny tees, shiny tees. Okay, calm down. I never read the Deadpool comics. The first time I heard of Deadpool, it might have been the Hulk versus movie, which was the animated film. Hulk versus Thor, Hulk versus Wolverine, and the Wolverine section had Deadpool in it. And then X-Men Origins Wolverine the movie had Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, which wasn't really Deadpool. But I never read the comic book. I probably had heard the name. Of course, the Deadpool I grew up with was the Clint Eastwood one. Dirty Harry. Welcome to the jungle. We have fun games. Great movie, by the way. I love that movie. That's actually one of my favorite Dirty Harry films. That might be my second favorite, because my favorite's Madam Force. My second favorite may be the Deadpool, because I like the kind of, it's almost like a slasher film in a way, where someone involved with this movie is killing people, and Jim Carrey's in the film as a rock star. He just killed early on. Liam Neeson is in the film. You got this cool car chase with a toy car involved, which is unique. Great trailer. Like, that's the way to sell the film. Got some Guns N' Roses in there. Anyway, that's the Deadpool I remember when I was a kid, so very different one. You know what? I mean, I don't know how you would do it, but that'd be cool if you took the trailer for Clint Eastwood's The Deadpool, but you edited, like, with footage from this or the other movies. I don't know how you would do that, but that'd be interesting. Anyway, going off topic yet again. Now, like I said, didn't read the comic. I knew of Deadpool. X-Men Origins Wolverine I saw. I think I saw it in the theater. Remember being disappointed. I don't like the film. It's a bad film. Is it the worst film of all time? No. But man, there's a lot of stuff left on the table with that movie. It was a bad starting point to have a Wolverine franchise. Stupid title, X-Men Origins, who gives a rat's ass? That's because we don't have X-Men Origins Bandito, which never happened because the X-Men Origins thing was a stupid decision by Fox. Case in point, you did enough of these dumb decisions. Who no longer exists? Fox. But anyway, but a lot of people I know were not happy of the Deadpool usage in that film, the way that character was handled. There was no suit. His mouth was pretty much sewn at the end of the film. And he had superpower, because it was like all the powers combined. He looked like Barakapool. I know my friend Mike, OCP, he was pissed about that. He was pissed about that movie. I didn't even know him when that film came out. I just caught the ether from, Ricola. Like, Ricola. I could just feel the anger from my friend Mike's voice before we even met. I'm like, I feel disturbance in the force. Someone's really pissed off about this. I think his name is Mike. He likes RoboCop. So, from what I understand, Ryan Reynolds did that film because he wanted very much to be Deadpool. It was his dream. He liked the comic. And I guess Fox pretty much said, listen, you want to do a Deadpool film? Okay. Do this film first. And I guess you saves the deal with the devil. Okay. If I don't do this, nothing will come of it. Ryan Reynolds said he warned them. This is not a good idea. They did it anyway. Of course, it got bad reception. But, I mean, X-Men Origins, it still made money. Despite the bad reviews, deservedly so, it still made money. So there were still talks of a Deadpool film, but that went on for a long time. And then you saw the success of films like Iron Man and all these other movies, and they go, I don't know, man. To do this movie with an R rating, I don't know if we really need to do that. I don't know if that'd be very tricky. They did that test footage, all done in CGI, which you can find on YouTube. And the studio still said, nah. And then someone leaked out the test footage. Now, either Ryan Reynolds did it, which seems like he did do it, but he doesn't want to, he can't say it. Or it was someone he knew. It could have been someone he knew close, and he doesn't want to put them under the bus and get them in trouble. Granted, that guy would be a hero because he made a lot of people a ton of money, because if that guy didn't do it, or again, it was Ryan Reynolds, so who knows. And of course, this, I think at one point, which thank God this didn't happen, David Goyer was going to do it because he had worked with Ryan Reynolds on Blade Trinity. Thank fucking God he didn't do it, because he sucks as a director. The Invisible, Blade Trinity, what was the other film he did? The Unborn or something? He is an awful director who's never directed a good film. He's written scripts that were used in decent films like Death Warrant with Van Damme and other stuff, but Blade, of course, Blade 2. But David Goyer is not a good director. He doesn't know his head from his ass. Oh, She-Hulk. She was only created so the Hulk could find someone to fuck. You do know they're cousins, right? Maybe they're kissing. No, he didn't say this, but I know his thick head was. Maybe they're kissing cousins. I don't care what you do on your own time, David Goyer. You kiss your cousin all you want. Everybody's kissing cousins. Maybe the new She-Hulk is, because she looks like someone who would kiss her cousins, but a new She-Hulk could do a lot of things. Suck, get fucked, whatever. New She-Hulk. Oh, Ryan Reynolds, you didn't put me in the new movie because you suck. That's why. Get out of here. You suck. That's why. Go suck some dick and get out of my face. Anyway. So ultimately, because of all the buzz, Fox finally relented to do the film, and Deadpool got made. Now, to me, it's a big budget, but to others, it's not a big budget. Even some money was taken down, so it was like, I think, 50-some million, which I view as a big budget, but compared to all these other movies, that even at the time, that's like maybe a quarter what the others had. And they get Tim Miller. Now, Tim Miller, I thought, did a decent enough job with the film. Actually, more than decent. I give credit's due. I do. He did a pretty good and competent job on this movie. Granted, he would later do Terminator Dark Fate and completely took the bed and ran it off a cliff with a bunch of babies on it and shot him all in the face like he shot John Connor in the face in that movie. That movie's so garbage. Terminator Dark Fate. I will like a lightly brisket fist in my face and up my ass than watch Dark Fate fuck in my face again. Hate that movie. It sucks. So we get to this movie. And I remember when I first saw it, I went, it's okay. It's alright. But being like wishy-washy on it, where I didn't hate the film. I liked the film. But I'm like, I like the film, but people are like, love, 10 out of 10. I'm like, I liked it. But it's a film that's grown on me. Instead of going, I liked it, it's more like, I liked it. You know, kind of that little progression. It's like a little bit, it's a little bit. So I do like the film. The opening credits I think are very cool. I like the usage of Angel of the Morning. Just call me Angel of the Morning, Angel. I like the way they play up the credits. Like it stars God's Perfect Idiot, a British villain, among other credits. I do like the slow mo where you're going through like all these guys and all these weird poses, and it's in the middle of this car flipping over. Like pretty much this car highway sequence is going to be cut up into bits and used throughout the film, because we'll show the film, and then we'll go back to this bit, then we show more of the flashback of the film, then we go back to this bit. Now I'm sure they did that because to make it more exciting with the viewer, that feels like there's an action scene happening every certain amount of minutes. Because if we just wait, maybe people will view it as a slow, maybe boring build up until you get to the sequence. So I remember when I first saw this, I had issues with that way that framing device. As I watched it again, it didn't bother me as much. I thought it was actually the right call. Because like I said, you start out with the opening scene, the action bit, and then again, you kind of go back and forth, back and forth. And Ryan Reynolds, I do like. Yes, it's true, he always plays the same guy over and over and over again. At least for the most part. Once in a while, he does a film like Buried, where there's not a lot of joking in that film. At least I certainly wasn't laughing, because I hate that movie. But I think I said this before. If they had done a reboot of Fletch, he would have been the perfect choice, because he reminds me a bit of Chevy Chase. Although, from what I understand, he's a lot nicer to work with than Chevy Chase. And I thought that Ryan Reynolds, he was definitely the best fit for Deadpool. The usage of the comedy, the breaking of the fourth wall, the energy he brings to it. You do feel a love that he has for the character. And that's infectious in these films. And that's definitely a big asset for it. And the breaking of the fourth wall is funny. Like he looks and there's gum on the lens, so he takes the gum off the lens. It being R-rated and not holding back on the dialogue, so he's saying stuff like it smells like two hobos fucking in a shoe filled with piss. I don't know why they would be in a shoe screwing each other's brains out. I don't know how big that shoe is to be doing in a shoe, but what, the shoe in the nursery rhyme? Mother Goose is there? Is she the one doing the fucking? Is she the hobo? Does she have a shotgun? I don't know, but you do get some pretty weird lines in there. They're pretty off-kilter. He mentions Wolverine, calls him Pulverine. Nice pair of smooth criminals down under. During the highway action scene, he says, I never say this, but don't swallow. So he definitely pushes the envelope of the raunchy dialogue. But Ryan Reynolds, for a good chunk of it, pulls off those lines fairly well. Granted, not every dialogue works, not every bit I find funny, but there are quite a few bits I did find funny. Like, okay, when he's in a bar, and this is like in the flashback where we see what he did before becoming Deadpool. He was kind of a mercenary for hire. He's in this bar and he meets this girl, Vanessa, and she freaks out this big guy that hits on her. And the way Ryan Reynolds goes, Hakuna is Tada, okay? He's sorry. Hakuna is Tada. And I thought him and the girl that plays Vanessa, they have good chemistry with each other. I thought they worked well in the love story department, so it has a nice heart to it. When it goes back to the freeway, the action scenes, yes, they're very heavily CGI, to be fair. And I'm always a guy that will prefer more practical in terms of action sequences. But there's entertaining stuff, like how he kills the group of people with only a certain amount of bullets, and he shoots 3 people with 1 bullet, which is a fun shot. When we see the flashback, he threatens this pizza guy because he's a stalker. He's a bad guy, but he goes after worse guys. One aspect I do not like in either film, except one line he has, and he kind of repeats in the second film. T.J. Miller. I'm not a fan of T.J. Miller. I don't think he's that funny. He's a piece of crap human being. I think he's the same guy that at one point a while ago, years and years ago, put in like a bomb threat as a joke. So he's a scumbag human being. I never really found that funny. His jokes I don't think were that funny. Your face looks like an avocado that had sex with another avocado. The only line I thought was remotely funny was something to the effect of, like, I'd go with you, but I don't wanna. Which, I mean, I know I've heard that line before in another movie, but I did like that line. And he kind of says a similar line in Deadpool too, so. But other than that, I don't think he added much to the proceedings. I know he did this thing online where him and Ryan Reynolds had a falling out. Now he says they made up, but yeah, you made up so much you're not in the third movie, so must not have made up that well. So I don't know. I wouldn't be. I mean, I don't blame Ryan Reynolds. I wouldn't be around the motherfucker either. So he's not in the third one. I'm glad. Because again, I don't like T.J. Miller. He's a scumbag. I don't think he's that funny, and he's definitely a part of the film I don't like in this. But yeah, I do like the way Ryan Reynolds and the Vanessa. I like their chemistry. There's this montage where all these different sex positions, all the holidays, including in Ped. Just for understand, I guess Deadpool in the comics is very free of his sexuality, I'll put it that way. That's why he made so many jokes with Cable and in Wolverine and all these other characters throughout this trilogy. And like the sex position stuff, it was there. I mean, it's an interesting way to show their relationship. Open-minded, so to speak. I'm not that open-minded, but hey, to each their own. But he finds out he's got terminal cancer. And like I said, there's a good heart to it. I mean, I would say, from what I heard about the well, I don't know. I haven't heard much about the comics, so I'm lying. But I like the heart that they bring into these films. I thought that's a good asset that maybe doesn't get talked about enough, but I'm glad it's there. I didn't. Some of the Joes watch it again. They held up. Man, shit goes bad sideways the most colossal way. Well, maybe not the most. And they show a picture of Deadpool from X-Men Origins Wolverine, and you see someone pick it up, and they leave, and you think it's Ryan Reynolds, but then it's Ryan Reynolds, and he's holding something completely different. You're going, wait, who the hell picked that up? Again, breaking the fourth wall stuff. Also, this random joke about Liam Neeson and the Taken films. Had a nightmare. Man, he's done that for 3 movies. You wonder if he's just that unlucky or if he's just a bad parent. Something about that made me laugh. Maybe because I don't like the Taken sequels. Like, 1 was good enough. You didn't need the sequels. So it goes back to him wanting to find a cure for his cancer. He does deal with some people, and there is a cure, but you have to undergo a lot of torture to awaken your mutant ability after this stuff happens. And they put this stuff in you, and they pretty much torture you. One of them is Gina Carano. Well, she's not a great actress, but she's a good physical presence. I did like the joke that Ryan Reynolds says to her, "What's with the matches? You big Stallone fan?" So it was nice to hear a reference to Cobra. So that was cool. Which actually they did another Cobra reference in the test footage of Deadpool. You know, meet the cure. Crime is a disease, meet the cure. So, I don't know, just kind of cool that Cobra can get mentioned somehow in some way and be remembered. I also like the line that he calls her a less angry Rosie O'Donnell. Just when he said that, I kind of saw that myself. That's what made me laugh. But again, it'll go back to the freeway sequence. Colossus, I thought it was I like the usage of Colossus. It's definitely the best usage of that character in the movie. Because they give him a personality where he's a goody two shoes. He's about the rules. Seems like that would fit a Colossus, his character. But at the same time, he's very adamant that you could be a hero, you could be an X-Man. And of course, Deadpool making all these jokes about creepy old guys with a bunch of kids and all that stuff. And Negasonic Teenage Warhead is the girl that's with Colossus. I like that they didn't make her annoying, they didn't make her obnoxious or irritating. And the few stuff that she does, Deadpool calls her out on it. And what was the... I'm trying to think. Oh, you want to say Law and Soul in Silence or a mean comment? Which is it? Yep, there you go. I also like a moment in a flashback where he talks about this is after he escapes and he gets burnt up. He realizes he can't die. His healing factor. So he goes to T.J. Miller. That's where you get the stupid jokes of T.J. Miller and how ugly he looks and blah, blah, blah. Although you look at some people in Beverly Hills, you don't look too bad, Ryan Reynolds. I was going to say, I like the line that he says, put a bullet through that guy's head, Francis. The bad guy's name is Francis. That's the joke. You see, he's making fun of, what's my name? My name's Francis. Put a bullet through his head and fuck the brain hole. And I'm like, why does that line sound familiar? And I realized, especially not too long ago, because all the stuff with Deadpool and Wolverine coming out, Ryan Reynolds is interviewed, I think it was Turner Classic Movies, about two movies he enjoys. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and Grosse Point Blank. And I'm like, that's where I remember. Dan Aykroyd says the same line in Grosse Point Blank where he's talking to John Cusack. Put both you and fuck the brain hole. And he tells about how much he loves Grosse Point Blank, which I like that movie as well. So I'm like, I knew they sounded familiar. That's what it is. And that's why he put that line in this movie, because he's a big fan of that. Seems like he's a big fan of John Cusack films, because he has that line in it. In the second film, the Say Anything boombox, he has that moment, that homage. I do like the bit where he had the suit upgrades, where he has and wearing white, but he did so much blood, so he's like, oh, I should wear red, and the upgrades on it. Is my voice muffled? The Zamboni. When he's fighting the girl, and he's like, is it more sexist to not hit you? I don't know. I will say this, though, with the Deadpool films. Aside from the beginning of Deadpool 2, the 9 to 5 bits. Deadpool is not really known for their action. They do have decent action. And I would say the action is pretty decent when it's there. But they're not wall-to-wall action movies. And they're not the biggest takeaway you're going to get from these movies. Which I think is a shame, because I think they can have their good moments, but then there'll be other moments, it's okay, you know. Like the finale in a lot of these films. It's like, it's okay, it's fine, but they're missing that extra oomph that you've seen in other action films. And I don't know how else to word it. And, but I guess really because while there's action, like the comedy and the meta is more to their liking. I think that's one of the things that's been a little bit disappointing with the Deadpool films, is that the finale, the action sequences have been a little bit lacking. They're not terrible, they're not awful, they are enjoyable for other reasons. But they're not... God, what would be a fair comparison? Even like Captain America the Winter Soldier, or, you know, I'm trying to think of other like superhero action films, or even action films period. I don't know, I just think of action films back to the days of the 90s. Hard Target with the Mardi Gras setting where they had all the props there. The Mardi Gras graveyard. The hospital in Hard Boiled. Even the train sequence in Broken Arrow. The fighter jet stuff and True Lies. Like, stuff back to the day that really seemed to up the ante, and here it's like, it's alright, it's fine. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me, though. Pretty much one thing at least to know is his girlfriend gets taken. He gets Colossus and Nedison, Teenage Warhead's help. They go off and they save the girlfriend. Now, like I said, watch this again. I did enjoy it probably more than when I first saw it. Because a lot of jokes made me chuckle more. When he sees Nedison, Teenage Warhead, and calls her Ripley from Alien 3, that got a chuckle out of me. The cab driver, he notices that the guy put this other guy in the trunk while he's admonishing him under his breath, like, I'm proud of you. You should not be doing that. Kill him fast. When he tries to fight Colossus, he keeps breaking his arms and he won't give it up, and then he gets and he breaks his foot. The stuff with Blind Al, that character, where it's antagonistic, but it's a weird, like, loving relationship as well. This friendship between him and this blind lady. And I do like a lot of times the usage of the music. That's going to give it to you. But then he forgets his damn guns in the cab, and he tries to call. Oh, damn it. Continue with the music. You're the inspiration, when he gets the knife in his head and he's pulling it out. You're the meaning of my life. You're the inspiration. Just a lot of the times the songs they use I like. I do quite enjoy. Not all the time. I would say the finale of Deadpool 2, I'm not really a big fan of the song choice they used during the end fight scene on that. But, yeah, there's a good chunk of it. And the action scene in the finale, like I say, it's fine. You know, Deadpool gets to kill a couple people. You know, it's not, you know, the Raid Redemption or anything, but he kills a couple people. Colossus fights Gina Carano. Mostly gets his ass kicked until Miss Warhead is able to unleash some damage. Deadpool has a little fight with Francis. Not too bad, not too shabby. Like I say, it's not bad. It's just nothing that would go amazing either, if that makes sense. Like it's serviceable. It's more than serviceable for what's needed. Like I said, not all the jokes work for me, like the T.J. Miller stuff. Like when he goes in, don't make the suit green or animated. Because I get it, he doesn't like Green Lantern. I don't hate Green Lantern like everybody else did. Maybe because I never read a damn bit of the comic, so maybe that's why. But I don't hate Green Lantern. I don't mind it, so it's like whatever. Okay, he hates it. Whatever. You made worse movies, dude. Make some jokes about R.I.P.D. Make some jokes about the Amityville Horror remake. Okay? You've done worse movies than Green Lantern. Trust me. I've seen them. I would rather watch Green Lantern than, again, R.I.P.D. or Blade Trinity or Amityville Horror, the remake. Okay? Just saying. That's just me. I mean, hell, I don't hate Free Guy, but I'd rather watch Green Lantern than Free Guy. There you go. But anyway, that's just my. I did. It was a very hated film, and it's like Ben Affleck with Daredevil. It was a hated film, and the actors don't like them. Okay, it is what it is. Like I said, there's a lot of usage of CGI. Not much attempts of yet practical squibs and such. But yeah, I still found it a fun movie. I thought the cast worked well. The villains are what they are. Like I say, these films don't really have. Well, Deadpool 2, I wonder. The villain. I guess you would think the school headmaster. Although he doesn't really have much focus. But yeah, the villain here, it is what it is. It's nothing amazing of a villain. So. Like the guy who played Francis, he doesn't do a bad job acting wise. I forget the guy's name. I had the guy's name on at the tip of my head, and the tip of my dick, and the tip of my tongue. Well, not the tip of my tongue. Maybe Deadpool's can have the tip of his. Anyway, that'll be Deadpool. He could do that for me. I'll take the fifth and plead it. Deadpool, you take the reign. Yeah, Ed Skrein is Ajax. That's right, he was in Rebel Moon as the bad guy. That's what I remember now. Oh, guy, he's starring the transporter refueled. But he was the bad guy in the Rebel Moon. Yeah. Not big on the guy. I mean, he wasn't bad. It just, kind of meh. Although sadly, I probably take him more than the villain in the third movie, but I'll get to that. Other than that, it was fun to watch it again. It's been a while since I've seen it. I did like the Hugh Jackman mask, where she's like, "Let me see ya." He takes his mask off, and there's a Hugh Jackman mask. I did like the line she says. Looks like a great place. Your face will be a great place for me to sit on. Something to that effect. I know it's so great, I can't remember the line. It's a face I would gladly sit on. Something like that. I'm like, well, you sit on my face too, lady. I'm over here and I don't have as many marks as he does. But yeah, the love story, the chemistry is there. I like the Ferris Bueller ending because I'm a big fan of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I thought that was very clever to put that in there, especially at the end credits, because that's what happened at the end in the Ferris Bueller after the credits. And he mentions Cable. Now he does mention, like, we don't know who's going to be. He mentioned Dolph Lundgren. I figured that would not be the case. Would have been cool though. And then you got Josh Brolin, who did a good job, which I'll get to when talking about Deadpool 2. So overall, I liked the film. It did grow on me, and overall, I do think it's pretty damn decent. Watch it again. Again, not... There's some good action bits, but not wall-to-wall action, and not the most amazing action. Like I said, a bit overusage of CG for a lot of scenes. Villain is kind of meh. But overall, a lot of energy, entertaining bits of dialogue. There's still a couple of good action moments. Nice usage of the soundtrack. And at the time, it just felt refreshing to see this type of movie compared to all the other movies that were coming out at that time. So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.